Hi guys, it's me again. My name is Afi. I'm back again with another video. I hope you enjoy this video. We're just gonna get right into it because it's going to be pretty long, honestly, just on its own. And I have my notes here as usual. And today's video is basically going to be centered on a post that I saw today, and we're just gonna read through the post, and I'm just gonna talk about stuff that arises from there. So that's just basically how this video is going to go. And the post is called 8 Uncomfortable Truths That We All Need to Accept. And the page is Poets and Writers, and it's a really good page. So I suggest that you go follow them. I will post the link below. So if you want to go and follow for some real truths, yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. The first one is happiness is where you are now or nowhere at all. It's not a new relationship, it's not a new job, it's not a completed goal, and it's not a new car. Until you give up on the idea that happiness is somewhere else, it will never be where you are. And basically, this resonated with me so much because this year I got to learn that, like, it was a very big lesson for me, because I'd always been in the place where I was saying I'm going to be happy if this happens. If I get a new phone, then I'm going to be happy. When I get a new phone, then I'm going to do this that's going to lead to my happiness. But then it just reached a point where I had to be like, okay, I don't have a phone and I probably will not get a phone for the longest time. So I might as well just like make do with what I have and use it. And even though it's going to need like a lot of improv and just a lot of stuff, it's worth it because I need to be happy where I am now, and just make sure that anything else that comes into my life is not feeling like is not I'm not depending on it to make me happy. I'm making myself happy. That has been a very important lesson to me, so I suggest everybody goes on that train. I posted this thing once that basically asked, like, if you got everything that you wanted, would you be happy? And my main point was just basically saying everybody needs to be happy where they are, and it's okay to have ambition, and it's okay to want other things, but you need to be happy now and not say that my happiness depends on this one thing that I don't have yet. So, because things are fleeting and situations change all the time and people change, and so, like, happiness needs to come from within you, or else you'll never actually be able to be happy. The second post is quitting is for winners. Contrary to popular opinion, quitting is for winners. Knowing when to quit, change direction, leave a toxic situation, demand more from life, give up on something that isn't working, and move on is a very important skill that people who win at life all seem to have. But don't quit because it's hard, quit because it sucks. And this has been really important because when you learn to let go, like, letting go is such an important skill to have, and I don't think we give it enough credit, because some things we honestly, like, you want to fight so hard for it, but when you pray for it, the answer to your prayer is let go, but you still want to fight. And it's like, there's this joking post that usually goes around that's like, when someone prays God, tell me that this is not the place to go, and then God literally gives you a sign and you refuse to listen to it. And that happens in real life. Like, it's a joke and it goes everywhere, but it's true. When you're given an answer, sometimes because of what you want to be the answer, you don't listen to it, and you keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting, and at the end of the day you're like, God, you forsaken me. But it's like, God gave you the answer, you refuse to use it. Now what can he do? Like, when you learn to let go and you learn to just be like, this situation is not serving me, this situation, sorry, is not the best for me, then it's such a good skill to have, and your life will be so much better. Honestly, you don't end up in situations where, like, you're confused. So the third one is, if they really wanted to, they would. If you apply pressure, they'll do what you want them to. If you take the pressure off, you'll see what they'd rather do. Never waste your life fighting what someone would rather do. Let them go, move on, do better. And this post, I feel like, is very self-explanatory. Like, if you tell somebody you don't like this and they keep doing it, I don't know what else you're waiting for. And then you want to complain. You knew that they were gonna keep doing it. Already it shows that they don't really respect what your opinion is on the particular issue. So, I mean, don't waste your energy there, to be honest. Like, sometimes you just have to be like, okay, fine, this is the kind of person that you are, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll live with it. This is the kind of person that you are, so I'm gonna just live with it, and it's fine, we'll move on. Because when you keep being bitter about it and being like, oh my god, this person isn't doing this, oh my god, then it just becomes a whole thing, and you're just like, you know it's not worth it, honestly. Fourth, taking no risk is the biggest risk. You have to risk failure to succeed. You have to risk rejection to be accepted. You have to risk heartbreak to love. If you're always avoiding risk, you're risking missing out on life. And this, I just wanted to link risk with fear, because sometimes you don't take a risk because you're scared. And an example from my life would be this YouTube channel and having this channel. In the beginning, I really didn't want to do it. Like, I mean, I've always wanted to do this, but I was so scared of doing it. And I saw this post one time that says, sometimes you have to do it afraid. Or I think it was like a quote in a movie, and it's my favorite quote, to be honest. Like, I live by it. It's like sometimes the fear won't go away, so you have to do it afraid. And so it's like, just take the risk, just do it. If it backfires, it backfires. That's literally the worst that could happen is it backfires. And if it doesn't work, then it wasn't going to work if you didn't do it anyway, so you're just in the same situation. And then you come out of the situation saying, at least I tried doing that. You don't have regrets, and you don't have like times when you're like, oh my god, I wish. You don't want to live your life like that, wishing that you did something that you didn't do, when you had the opportunity to do it. So fifth, call yourself out. The most common reason why people keep making the same mistakes is because their insecure ego prevents them from taking responsibility for their own stuff, their own toxic traits, and their own mistakes. You have to call yourself out. Calling yourself out means you care more about your future, your progress, and your happiness than just protecting your ego. And calling yourself out is such an important trait, to be honest, because it's one of those things that you have to call yourself out in order to grow. If you do something and you when you do something and somebody says, oh my god, I don't like that you did that, and then you want to keep saying, oh no, I know what I'm doing, blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, maybe you know what you're doing, but if what you're doing is wrong, then like you need to listen to that. Self-evaluate yourself. Always sit down and be like, okay, how did I do this? When did I do this? What am I about to do? Then after you do it, be like, has this given me like good results or no? That kind of thing. So self-evaluation, so important. Being open with yourself and being able to correct yourself is such an important skill, to be honest, because sometimes people won't tell you. Sometimes someone is going to watch you making a mistake and they'll go and badmouth you because not everybody is good, and more than that, even sometimes they're scared. So maybe they won't even badmouth you, maybe they'll just form an opinion about you, and then you keep doing the exact same thing because you don't know, and it's because you didn't take a step back and think, is this something that I should do? And some things are plainly not okay. Some things are just plainly not okay, but you still want to do them. So that's something that everybody needs to think about, in my opinion. Number 6, closure is your choice. Closure isn't an apology or justice or answers, that's insecurity. If the situation made you feel awful, seeking closure by reopening it is insanity. Closure isn't something they can give you. Closure is moving on. Closure is your choice. And this point, oh my god, this point, I saw this thing one time that basically said, and I saw this last year and it helped me so much during a time when it was so difficult, but I saw this post that basically said, something that caused you confusion cannot give you clarity, and you guide my brain, like literally, mind blown, and I was like, that makes so much sense. If something confused me, why am I trying to go back to that situation to gain clarity? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, nothing. And something else is like, when God gives you an answer, it's direct and you know what you're supposed to do. But if it's not from God, it comes with confusion. That's it. That's all you need to know. So how do you know that God has given you a message? If it's very clear cut, when you pray about it, it comes to you. And sometimes it comes slowly, and sometimes you'll still be worried just because of yourself, and you can keep praying about it. Don't give up on praying. You just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and then the answer you get, that's it. And it always comes with clarity, not confusion. And the whole idea of closure, to be honest, I just think you choose. It's what this post said is true. You choose to just have that closure, because nobody else outside of yourself can give you that closure. So that's it about that point. All right. 7, if you're happy alone, you'll be happier together. There's no type of affection that can fill the void in a person who doesn't love themselves already. There is no independence in dependency. There is no personal security in attaching yourself to a secure person. Until you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you won't make healthy decisions about someone else. So this especially made me think about, today I was watching the Red Table Talk interview, by Will to Jada, basically. And this whole thing has been going around about entanglement and stuff like that. But when you listen to her speaking, and she's talking about how she wasn't happy within herself, and she was always looking for a way to be happy outside herself, and that whole situation has a lot to laugh about, to be honest. There's been a lot of jokes coming out of it, but there's so much to learn from it. So I also recommend that. I'm going to try and link it down below. So I recommend that as well. So inner peace and self-love is so important, to be honest. You need to get it from yourself. No one else is going to give it to you. Nothing else is going to give it to you. You need to find a way to be happy on your own, to just so that even if you're getting someone else into your life, they're coming to like compliment you and not really to fulfill you. That's something that's really important, I think. And the last one is, it's not your job to fix damaged people. Your responsibility to help someone will never outweigh their responsibility to help themselves. But it's worth asking yourself why you resonated so strongly with someone that so desperately needed fixing in the first place. Often, our own toxic romantic and non romantic attachments tell a story about an issue we have within ourselves. And that I feel like explains it for itself, to be honest. Just, you weren't brought into the world to be Bob the Builder. Like, that's just point blank period. I have nothing else to add to that. If you get your self-worth from fixing people, then you have a deeper problem and you need to deal with that, because it's okay to help people, but you also need to know when to take a step back and be like, this is not a situation that I can help. And if you find fulfillment from helping people, and if that's your only cause of like happiness and joy, then I think you need to evaluate yourself much better and look inside yourself, like so much so that you realize that like maybe there's a problem, maybe there's something you've never dealt with, and just deal with that, because you don't want to be in problems. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where like you're trying to help somebody and eventually they drag you down, and now you're two people in a pit and none of you know how to help each other out, and so you don't ever want to be in that situation. So just think about that. You're not brought into this world to fix people, and the whole idea of fixing somebody, I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it comes into anything, but yeah, i hope I hope you enjoyed this video. These were just 8 truths that everyone must know. I got it from some post on Instagram, so I'm not going to claim any rights over it, to be honest. I just thought it was something cool to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, comment, like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, man. That's why I do this. See you next time. Bye.